TPS reports. We're back, event number 17 on the year, and I'm joined by Josh Padron. Josh, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Justin, how's it going, man?
Good, man. I gotta say, out of all the episodes that we've done, which is obviously 17 now this year, and I think we did I think we did one for every tournament last year as well. So you are the highest placed finisher to ever be on the show. So,
Woo.
congrats.
I know you wanted a champion at one point. It's getting
Yeah.
harder.
You're getting hey, back-to-back second place finishes for you, man. So that's pretty strong.
It's true. Back-to-back finals.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we got a lot
about that.
Yeah, you should be really happy. I think I think you're playing really good right now. This is probably some of the best pool I've seen you play since I've known you, which has been a while now. So
probably like a decade, right?
Yeah, probably. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because it was back when we were still playing some other tours around the Carolinas, I think. So
true.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and read off our sponsors because we got a lot to talk about, I think, for this tournament. At least I feel like there's a lot to talk about. So I'm going to name the sponsors here really quick. Paul Harrison Custom Cues. Always a pleasure to have Paul as a sponsor. Portico Licensed General Contractors. PoolDoctors.com. TKO Custom Cues. That's Kirk Overcash. Barry McDonald, Ameris Bank Mortgage Banker. We missed Barry this weekend. He didn't show up to play. Fast Action Billiards. Ball Breakers Club, new sponsor there, Ketan Patel up there in the Raleigh area. Ball Breakers Club. Inkwell Design, JC made another spectacular trophy. Supreme Q, Sean Brodowski, he got to play in the tournament. It was nice to see him. Deadstroke Media and the Roundabout Grill. So thank you for all of them for being a sponsor for this tournament. And this tournament was a $1,000 added non-ball event at Smokin' Q. First, let's talk about the field, Josh. Do you think this was one of the toughest fields that we have had? Because I feel like there was at least 10 or 11 players that I thought could finish, first or second. So I think this was on paper one of the strongest tournaments we've had.
Yeah, I mean it's right there between this one and probably like two of the brass top ones.
Yeah,
and I think there might have been one at what's the name of the other place where you usually do the able.
Fast Action?
At Fast Action,
Yeah.
right? I think there was one in there. But yeah, probably top 3 to 5 of all the events, strong field.
Yeah, I mean, I think, because on paper, I think you were like the sixth highest Fargo, and you're like a 693. At least that's what it showed you as on the bracket. I don't know if it's changed since then. But yeah, I mean, if you're the sixth highest player, that's a pretty strong field.
There were quite a few over 700 players.
Yeah, I think we had 5. I think 5 players above 700.
Yeah.
You were the
highest.
And
most of them. Yeah, and most of them were, North Carolina people. Because I know Josh Robert has shown up before, and Francisco from Spain has shown up before, but that's made it stronger. But as far as like North Carolina people, I think it's probably one of the strongest ones we've had.
Agreed. The one from not North Carolina, Scott Roberts, made the drive down from Lynchburg.
Yes.
So, yeah, but yeah, we did have 5 players above a 700 Fargo. That's super impressive. Like I said, I think there was 10 or 11 players that easily could have probably not only of cash, but I think probably finished 3rd or 4th. We did do a new wrinkle in this tournament. First time ever, we made it to the final 8, final 4 winners, final 4 losers. Redraw, single elimination, extend the race by 1. Josh, you got to play, so you had firsthand experience. How did the format work, and did you like it?
I love it. I think you and I have talked about this, for a tour, I think that is the format. You got a qualifying stage, and then you got a single elimination stage. And even though it's no true double elimination like some other people would want, but you have many chances throughout the year to play and to win. And sometimes, you get there through the winner side, and sometimes you get there through the loser side, and it makes the tournament run faster. And it's a tour, so you got many chances throughout the year to get to the same spot and get yourself a chance for the win. And allows the tournament to also finish at a decent time, because most of us are working people and, can only play on the weekend, and you still got to travel a couple hours oftentimes. I love it. I think that's how it should be done.
Good. And we were done at a decent time. It was like 1 something in the morning, which is, I think that's pretty much what we've always kind of shot for in our tournament. It took from the time the first match started until the time that you got finished in the finals, it was less than 12 hours of actual gameplay. So I think that's really impressive. We did do when we redrew, it was a winner side versus a loser side player, so I think that made it a little more fair as well. But did you like the races being extended? Like, how was the race to 4?
Yeah, I actually when you first talked about it, I wasn't so sure about modifying the race from 3 to 4. I just and only because I didn't know how much longer it was going to take and time wise. So as far as saving time, but it felt good. It wasn't that much of a difference, and it also felt that it is on the single elimination part of the tournament. You still have every game feels like hill. So at least going to 4, you feel like you have a little bit of breathing room to play and not go through the set too quick if you get unlucky or something happens in the first game and then they run out in the second game, they're already on the hill. So I like the race to 4 too, especially after I played it and I wasn't so sure at the beginning, but yeah, I'm looking forward to more events like this.
Nice, good, and yeah, looking at the match, just looking at your match time specifically, they really weren't much longer once you were in the money. Like, you had one that was like a tad bit longer, you and Ian Hull, but other than that, the rest of them, whether it was early in the tournament or in that final stage, they were all relatively pretty close in time. So, yeah, I definitely don't think that one game really makes that much of a difference on time. So, yeah, I like the format. I think it worked out very well. I definitely think it added a little bit of suspense to the tournament because it's like, okay, you lose, you're out now. Like, normally, sometimes you get in these tournaments and it's like, okay, like, you have like a great match like you and BJ or like you and Scott Roberts or somebody playing late in the tournament. It's like, okay, well, this would be a winner side match. So the loser could still be in and, still be in the final 2 or 3. But I think it made it a little more interesting to watch from my perspective because it was like, oh, wow, the loser of this match is out. So I definitely think it's going to be a lot of fun to see, to watch for the rest of the tournaments. We did have one other new wrinkle. I want to see what you thought about this. We kept score now. So if you go look on Digital Pool at the bracket, we have the score of every set on there now. So it no longer just says like Josh winning 2-1. Now it shows the score of each set. Did you like that, Josh? Did you like keeping score? And do you like being able to go back and look and see in every game?
I love it. And I'm like a stats guy. So I'm just I simp for the stuff. I like to just go in and look at the bracket and see the scores. And now that we're doing the podcast right now, I got the bracket open and I can see what the score of each game it was for each match, and then it also tells you what the sets were like. And that's something that probably I felt like it was missing. Because especially if you're not playing the tournament and you're a fan, you only get to watch just the string table. But at least you can, every few hours, you can probably go to Data Pool and just check out what's happening. People like to keep tab of those stuff. And, it's part of the reason why we play the game. And this is a nice little wrinkle, like you were saying.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. And even, Jacob Blake joined me in commentary for a little bit. He even said that he loved it as well. And, he's like, now I can go back in, months from now and look back at this tournament and be like, Jacob Blake speaking. He's like, I beat Biondi 3-0 the first set. So at least I can say now that, okay, I did that instead of just being like, I won a set. I can look at it and be like, I won 3-0. So
right.
I think for the players too, it's really cool to be able to look back and be like, to see what you did.
Because you forget too. Yeah, you forget sometimes what happens. So if you go months later and then you can go into your profile in the Data Pool and look back. And this is great for everybody, the players and the fans.
Yes, definitely. And that's what, we try to do. We try to improve each and every tournament. 2 big changes this tournament. So I think both of them have worked out pretty well. I guess let's go ahead and talk about you want to go ahead and talk about the players that got top 8? You want to go ahead and talk about?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's talk about the guy that won. This is 2 straight tournaments now that he's won. 2 straight times he's got to hold that trophy and take it home. That's BJ Ussery. I'm just going to say this, Josh, before I get your thoughts on BJ, because you got to play him, you firsthand experience in this tournament. But I think if you look at this whole year on the pool series, this is the best tournament that he has played in the pool series. I think this is the best I've seen him play from start to finish. I didn't really see him. We saw him on stream 3 times. We got him on stream 3 times, and I just think he played perfect or close to, his top level. And we hadn't seen that all year. I think you got to go back to last year since we've seen him really play super good. But what was your thoughts on BJ and how good he played?
I think I agree with you. I didn't get to watch much because I was playing, and so I would just go back and forth a little bit. But it does seem, I feel like he went through a little stretch where he wasn't playing probably what he would expect of himself. But just to say and to confirm that how well he played, by the time we finished the tournament, he even mentioned himself that he was pretty happy with how he played. And I know he puts a lot of pressure on himself to play well. So if he was happy with how he played, it kind of tells you how well he played. And he played exceptionally good against me. No, like he played above his level, but he played. I mean, the amount of mistakes were so few and far in between. He played like borderline perfect. Maybe a tiny positional error here and there, but other than that, he played really good.
Yeah, and we talked about this before the show started. His defensive play in this tournament against you, he had some really good ones, and also one of the other matches against Ronald, he had just spectacular safety play. That's to me what kind of separates BJ from a lot of other players. Is just it's not that he can break and run; it's his safety play is incredible.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, and I made a mental note on it as well while he was playing him. For that particular reason, I think his safety game is just so far above basically the rest of the field, maybe with the exception of Mike. But at least this particular tournament, and Mike's safety game has gotten way better too. I've told him this. His safety game and his kicking has also gotten like really, really good. It's hard to even say it. But BJ, and he's just literally playing the percentages. He was not taking much of unnecessary risk. If the safety was there, he was taking his time, and he put me in a lot of tough spots, and that allowed him to control most of the match, for the most part. And safety will win you matches and tournaments.
The safety does win you the battles for sure. And this is, again, another cool thing about the new scoring system. We can go back and look at BJ's match against Josh to get to the final 8 against Josh Heater. BJ loses the first set 3-0, and then it goes hill third set. So BJ could have easily lost that match possibly. So that just shows you that even though I do think this was the best he's played in one of our tournaments this year, also tells you how good Josh Heater plays.
Yeah. Oh, he's been playing. He's been finishing super high too.
This
was 2 finals. At least one for sure.
He's had 3. He's been in the finals 3 times this year.
He's been in the finals 3 times.
He won 1. He got second twice.
Oh, he did win 1. Okay.
Yeah, he won. He won the 10 ball at Smoking Q. He beat BJ and Mike, I believe. Wasn't it BJ and Mike that he beat?
Well, I don't know if it's the one that I played. I played him. No, I think no. He lost to BJ. I think he lost to BJ.
The one you played in, he got second.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the one I'm thinking about.
But he had another one where he won, and I know he beat Mike for sure, and I think he might have beat BJ as well. Yeah. It was I think our second event of the year. I think it was way back in February.
Oh, yes. I'm thinking about a different event. But yeah, he's been playing really, really good. And he's also been finishing really high or winning tournaments on, when he's gone to South Carolina. He went to Alabama, finished 4th place up there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Heater's been playing really good as well.
Absolutely. But shout out to BJ for winning another trophy on the pool series.
How many is that for the year?
That's just his second. No, that's his third one this year. He had one. He had one other one where he technically split the finals, but I think he was coming from the loser side. So, yeah. But yeah, that's his third one this year, and then he obviously won our tour championship last year. So, along with a couple other tournaments. I don't know. I have to go back and look. BJ kind of comes and goes. He doesn't play consistently in the pool series. He doesn't play, every event or every. Yes, exactly. Like with Mike, it's easy for me to keep up with because he plays every event. I have to search BJ, but
so Mike, it's 17 for 17, right?
Yes, he's played every event so far this year.
Okay.
I'm super impressed. We have never. Last year we only did 15. No, last year we did 14 events. We didn't have anybody play every one. This year we're doing 20 events, so it'll be interesting to see if Mike keeps it up and finishes it with a perfect record. I think that'd be pretty awesome, honestly. Like it really would. So BJ won. Second place is you, Josh, as we mentioned. Back-to-back tournaments you've played, back-to-back times getting second place, losing to Mike Davis at Brass Tap, and now losing to BJ. But I mean, it was a good run. You played a lot of good players. You had a lot of strong matches. I don't know, because overall, how do you think you played for the day? Like, where would you rate your game?
I mean, it's hard. You always, if you're trying to get better, you're always gonna nitpick at all the mistakes that you make, and you always know how much more room for improvement you have. Up and down, I think probably overall I'll probably play like B plus. There were sets I probably play my top speed, but then I tend to do that. I'll play really good like a set, and then maybe I don't know if I just get a little comfortable. That's another mental note that I made. It's just I have a little bit of trouble just like completely like finishing my opponent when it needs to happen. You just get a little complacent. Being that it's a tournament, it's a long tournament. I used to like focus 100% throughout the whole match, and that just wears you down. So I'm trying to find like a good rhythm where I can like conserve my energy but still play well. And it's hard to just, it's on a knife's edge basically. So I think that's the part that I'm just like trying to figure out a little bit right now. But overall, probably play like B plus game. I mean, I'm happy. Against BJ, I mean, I missed 3 balls, like I told you before the show, and 2 of them was to make hill on each set. I think if I would have just played a little bit better, especially with how good BJ played, if he hadn't played as good as he did, and if I hadn't missed those 2 balls, it could have been a different story. And the only thing was, it took me a little too long to figure out the break on that table, and BJ, figured it out way quicker than me. By the time I figured it out, was on the last rack of the last set. And I remember when I was finishing rack, and I was like, okay, this is it. And I broke, and that was supposed to be a break and run. And I think that probably would have given me a good chance, unless BJ would have broken around because he was going to be breaking hill. But yeah, I'm happy. I just think that I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll get there at some point.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm moving you up to first on my list of the next player that gets their first trophy on the pool series. I've had Hank Powell in that spot for a while now, but I think I'm putting you above him now, Josh. I think you're the next person I expect to get their first.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, BJ did figure out the break. And if you go back and rewatch the match, he played on that table the round before, so I guess maybe he had a tiny bit of an advantage. But I mean, that's we're only streaming one table, so one of you was going to play on that table back-to-back matches. But he did not break as good against Ronald as he did against you, though, I felt like. So he definitely figured it out at some point, that match with Ronald.
Yeah, he said it too. He was towards the end of Ronald's match. He said he figured out the break and the rack, and then by the time he played me, he kind of got better after that. And I probably made a little bit of a mental mistake. I got a little stubborn on thinking that I could just, because it was just not racking perfectly tight. So I thought I could just, I got stubborn on finding the spot on the head string where I could break from, and it wasn't working. So by the time BJ's was working, it was probably 2 racks or 2 breaks that he had before I started paying attention to what he was doing. Yeah. And then that's when I, was like, okay, let me copy what he's doing. And like I said, it was a little too late by the time I figured it out. But it was a good learning lesson. I did make another mental note for myself for the future on like certain tables, certain the way you got to put your hands sometimes to get the balls perfectly tight when things are not cooperating. So just good learning experience for the future too.
And it's funny saying that you kind of learned from him, because I think Ronald did the same thing in their match as well. I think like once he saw that BJ had figured it out, you could kind of see Ronaldo kind of basically doing the same thing as BJ was doing. So it's definitely sometimes, good to pay attention to what your opponent's doing. That way you can kind of be maybe.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
And he's going to be doing the same thing. If his break is not working and he sees what you're doing and it's working, he's going to try and copy. I mean, you're supposed to be paying attention and to see who can figure out the table, quicker.
Yeah, I think so there's two things I want to mention about your tournament before we move on to the next player. One is something that you brought up where sometimes you don't finish out your opponent when you're supposed to, maybe. Do you think maybe you had Scott Roberts beat 4-0 in the second set to close out the match and you missed a ball and then it ends up going to a third set? Do you think maybe that extra 45 minutes to an hour of play kind of, wears you down a little extra,
Yeah. Corey, we were texting earlier today and he asked me about that. There was two things that happened when Josh Heater and Eddie were playing. And I think I talked to you, it's like, hey, do you have time to get something to eat? So I was going to go to Chick-fil-A. And I think there was an accident on University. I actually didn't get to eat.
Oh, wow.
Because I was keeping track on the stream and I was on the line.
I'm going to call timeout here. I'm going to call a timeout here. Maybe this is sometimes why it's good to support the local pool hall and just eat there.
Well, I had already eaten. Earlier in the day over there. Okay. So, and you kind of get a little bit used to use. I just wanted some like protein. I didn't want to have like a.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I was just joking, but yeah.
Yeah, I could have. And believe me, I thought of myself, I was like, man, I should have just ordered something over there and fuel myself up. But anyways, that match kind of went quick. And there was a lot of traffic on University. So by the time that match was finishing up, I was on the drive-through of Chick-fil-A. And I had to turn around. And I was just parking when you're like, hey, I need you to come in. So, the timing was crazy. So I was running a little bit out of fuel.
So that Josh Heater and Eddie Little match was our quickest match of the day on the stream table. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would go hill on the third set because I just wanted to have a little more time so I could actually eat.
Understandable.
And then what you said, against Scott, I got a lot of fortunate rolls in the first set. I played good and I also got some pretty fortunate rolls on the first set and maybe the first game of the second set. And I kept trying to tell myself, because when it happens against you, there's nothing you can do about it. But when you get the rolls, you have to try to take advantage. And this is what I kind of told Scott towards the end of the match. And because it can turn on any second. And that's what happened. I had the chance to just finish the match right there. I was up 3-0 and I missed, I think it was the A ball for the win. I hung it up. And then it kind of changed from there on. And then he beat me that. And then I had to grind out the third set.
Yeah.
So that was an extra 45 minutes. There was an extra 10 games that we had to play.
Exactly. Let's see. The other thing I want to mention is with the new format where it becomes single elimination, you play Ian Holt to get to the final four on the winner's side. He beats you in 2 sets, right? He sits down and waits. We redraw. He plays you again. So he has to play you 2 times in a row. I just want to mention that was just a little quirk, that you're probably going to see some with this format, I feel like. But then the second time you beat him in 2 sets. So did you think differently going into it the second time as you did the first? Because first of all, Ian, you don't know Ian probably, but great player. Just getting back into pool. But he's on my list of players I expect to get a title at some point soon as well. I don't think he's hit his A game yet in one of our tournaments. So there's that. But yeah, just was your mindset a little differently playing him? And do you think maybe him playing you back-to-back matches, do you think maybe his mindset was like, do you think that helped you playing him in back-to-back matches? Like, I know you played one in the middle, but like I said, it was back-to-back for him.
It kind of helped me a little bit in the sense that I kind of try to have a rule for myself that I try not to lose to the same player twice in a row. And that's because it kind of creates a pattern, right, for future tournaments. If you lose to the same player a couple times in a row, then they get confident, and then it's just like a recipe for them to have your number, that kind of thing. So I did try a little bit harder. I did like the fact that it was a race to 4, on that. So I did feel like I was a little more comfortable, had a little bit more time. But other than that, I didn't really think about it. I thought it was just luck, basically, how it worked out. Just the way he had to play me 2 times. If I had lost on my qualifying round, then he would have played a different player instead of me. So
True.
It's just what it is. But yeah, shout out to him, man. He plays really good. It's my first time seeing him. He plays super strong. You can just tell. He's a nice guy. I enjoyed playing him.
Nice.
Yeah.
His Fargo's a 648, and I would think that that's probably at least 30 points lower than where it should be. Yeah. I do want to go ahead and mention, though, by the way, the first round of the final 8, when it became single elimination, 3 players from the loser side did win the first round. So I don't know. Maybe that's just something to keep an eye on, going forward. I feel
from the winner side, you said, or from the loser side?
From the loser side. 3 of the loser side players won.
Yeah, so it was myself, Scott, and
Ronald.
And Ronald. Yeah.
BJ was the only one that won. So, yeah, maybe we'll keep an eye on that stat. Let's move on to the 3rd and 4th place finishers, because now 3rd and 4th is the same position. 3rd and 4th is Scott Roberts and Ronald Bott. Man, it was good to see Scott drive down and play. I think he played really well in the tournament. You and him had
We've talked about that before on a different podcast, right? Like how it would be nice to, because he likes to travel for tournaments, to have him come over here and play the pool series more often. And I think he's signed up for next weekend as well.
Yeah, he signed up for next weekend as well. I mean, he's cashed in all but I think one of the tournaments that he's played in. So he's got a good record. And then Ronald, forfeiting his first round because he showed up late and then busting through and finishing 3rd, 4th. Obviously, it's a little easier to get 3rd, 4th now with this new format. But, I mean, Ronald is obviously a player that we, expect. I mean, he was He was the 4th. I think he was the 3rd highest player, right? He was the 3rd highest player Fargo-wise, I think. So,
BJ, Mike, and Ronald.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ronald's obviously somebody that I think anytime he plays in one of our tournaments, I expect him to get the money. But he did beat Mike Davis again. Ronald's got a pretty good record against Mike in the pool series. But, yeah, I mean, just, what do you think about Scott and Ronald getting 3rd, 4th?
I mean, I think I don't know what to say. I think it's like any of these people could have won, or at least make the finals. I don't see why Scott wouldn't make the finals, in any other tournament with his field. And the same goes for Ronald. And Ronald has already proven it.
Yes.
And I think he might have a pretty good chance. I think it was 3-3 on the first set against Mike.
It was.
And I think he had a chance to win the first set.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was maybe a missed safety on the 1 ball or the 3 ball. I think he was, because I was playing Scott, but kind of watching a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember what ball it was, but yeah, he played a bad save.
And if he would have won the first set, things could have been different.
Absolutely.
I didn't watch any of the second set, so I don't know what happened there. He says that he lost 4-2. But low key, I was actually hoping. I was hoping that because I was still playing Scott, but towards the end of Scott's match, I was hoping that Ronald would win, and I was like, oh man, it would be nice for me and Ronald to play in the finals. I kind of wanted him to play him in the finals.
Yeah, that would have been really awesome. That does bring me to a question I did want to ask. When it was the redraw time, you knew that you were going to play one of the guys from the winner's side. You don't have to mention names, but was there one that you were hoping to play, or was there one that you were hoping not to play?
I was saying, dude, I didn't even have any time. So okay. I was just so focused on the food situation. I didn't even look at the bracket. And the time that I found out that, it's just when I go to the text message that I was playing Ian Hall. And I was on my way to the bathroom when I go to the text message. And as I'm reading the text message, Ian is walking into the bathroom. So we kind of joke a little bit. It's like, wow, what are the odds we have to play each other again?
Yeah.
And I got done with Ian and I didn't know who I had to play until you said that I was going to play Scott. So
Nice.
I have no idea. I was fully blind
It's the
who I
best way
was
to.
going to play.
I think that's the best way to do it, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes that's
yeah,
fine. Because, like you were saying, there were 10 players in the tournament that they were pretty capable of at least getting to the finals. So by the time we got to the second stage, I knew whoever I was going to play was going to be a good player.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it doesn't really matter, you know.
No, I mean, yeah, every player was great in the final eight. I think this was probably the strongest final eight that we have ever had in the pool series, maybe in a 32 player field. Fifth through eighth. Let's talk about fifth through eighth here briefly. Eddie Little, Ian Hull, Mike Davis, and Biondi Santos. I mean, that's a pretty strong top, fifth through eighth right there. Eddie Little, back-to-back cashes. We hadn't seen him in a while. Ian Hull now with his second cash in 3 tournaments that he's played. Mike Davis with, I believe, his 16th cash of the year. And Biondi with his second cash of the year. I think he's only played like 4 tournaments, but so he's shooting 50%. I mean, just, what do you think about those four players there, Josh?
I mean, look, if you take a look at the beginning of stage 2, basically the weakest player is like at least a 650.
Yeah.
So strong field, and there was only 2 of them. And like you say, Ian Hull, it's probably better than a 650.
I think so.
Like you're saying, like, I mean, at the bare minimum, he plays like 80 little speed. If not a little bit better right now because Eddie's not playing much.
Yeah.
So
I would probably give the
super
edge to
strong. Yeah, I would agree, at least right now. Although I will say this, I saw Eddie playing, and I know he likes to quit the game and for a few months and come back, and he plays this little circle. He actually played really good. Like every time I would turn around, I was watching him. He played really, really good. He had a good chance against BJ too in the first set.
Yeah.
He played. He played very, very well against Josh Heater. That was in the qualifying round. So shout out to Eddie, per usual, in there.
I think
he doesn't
Eddie
give his game a lot of credit.
Yeah, and Eddie had lost, I think, his first round of the tournament. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he lost to Mike. I think he lost to Mike Davis first round.
Yeah, he had a tough draw, huh?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, he played Mike Davis.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I was right. Yeah.
Yeah. He lost 2-3 on the first set and then 3 on the second set.
Oh wow. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, Eddie Little 2 straight cashes, super impressive. Ian Hull, a name that we need to start watching out for. He signed up for the next event at Smoking Q. Eddie Little, you'll see him next week at Brad's Tap. So Eddie Little,
nice.
Yeah. Gonna make the drive
up.
I
talked a little bit with Ian. He said he's going to try and be playing a little more often too, and so I'm sure we're going to see him in the pool series and other tournaments across North Carolina probably in the following months.
Yeah,
you said that he quit for like 15 years or
man, it was probably like 10 years. It was probably like 10 years maybe, like that he quit playing like tournaments and stuff. I think he stuck around with Pool League maybe, but I know he's played Pool League for a while. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see him in a tournament for probably.
And he's from North Carolina.
Yeah, he lives like and Ian. I know Ian will watch this too. Man, I think he lives like Huntersville, maybe somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he quit pool when I started playing pool.
Yeah.
That's probably why we'd never met before.
Yeah. I mean, I was super happy when he signed up for the first time, like a couple months ago. Like he was a player where, obviously I have goals when I run this tournament, and it's like, okay, I want certain players to try to get better and play. And I want certain players, like I know in the Charlotte area, to come back and play. And Eddie Little was one, and Ian Hull was another one. So to see both those guys playing now, and again, is just awesome because I think they bring so much to the scene.
Yeah, and I think they're good for the game. I played him twice. I could just tell he's just like Ian. Talk about Ian here. I already know Eddie. I've known Eddie for a long time now. But they're both stand-up guys. Like I just knew right off the bat I was never gonna have a problem with him, or like there was not gonna be no issue whatsoever about a call or anything like that. And that just just lets you focus on playing the game, and whoever gets to play best that set wins, and you just move on.
Exactly.
And he beat me the first set, the first time we played, and I just shook his hand, told him he played really good, and then just happened to play him again on stage 2, and then I beat him, and he was the same way with me. So it was just a pleasure.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. I love it. Yeah, so that was a pretty strong top 8. I think there's 2 guys outside the top 8 that I maybe expected to cash. Like I said, I don't know who I would have expected to cash because, like I said, there was a lot of people, at least 10 people. 2 others, though, that it's hard to believe didn't cash. Josh Heater and Bruce Campbell. Josh Heater had played 4 tournaments this year, never finished below 3rd place, and Bruce Campbell had back-to-back cashes coming into this tournament. So it's hard to think that neither one of them cashed. They actually played each other first round, and Josh got the better of Bruce. But Bruce coming back to finish 1 out of the money. I think Bruce is starting to get where he needs to be, which is, I thought for a while now he should be a player that should contend with the top 8 every time. And I think now he's finally there. And then Josh. I mean, still he's finished top 3, 3 out of 5. Or he's finished top 3 now 4 out of 5 times this year that he's played. I mean, the dude's playing phenomenal pool right now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know you don't really know Bruce Campbell much, but, were you kind of surprised that Josh Heater didn't finish in the top 8?
Yeah, super surprised. And who knows if it would have been a different story, because I'm looking at stage 1, he went heel against BJ.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have been BJ, that would have been his qualifying. He would have qualified on the top 8, then he would have played somebody from the loser side.
Yep.
And then with the confidence that he probably would have gotten from beating BJ, it might have been just a completely different tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
So, but yeah, super surprised. I mean, was he one of the blind bids? Maybe.
No.
No, he wasn't. But he was up there.
No. Yeah. I think he was like maybe.
Went.
I think he went like the 4th highest for money, or might have been 3rd.
Yeah.
Highest. I think it was a tie between him and Ronald for the 3rd highest. But yeah, I think if Josh Josh would have pulled out the win on BJ, I think Josh would have won the tournament. That would have been my prediction.
It wouldn't have surprised me one bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have surprised me one bit.
I really do think that that's what would have happened. I mean, a couple other players, that have cashed before that were outside the money in the tournament. Tim Nelson, Kyle Sherrill, Kevin Candido, Joe Hyatt Jr., Jeremy Gathings, Brian Curzel, Jason Blackwell, Lucky Luciano. It's a lot of players that have cashed before in one of our events that did not cash. And that's another reason why I said this is a strong field, because all those guys, looking at their Fargo might not be that high, but they have found a way to get to the money in this format before. So just wanted to mention some other names, and show how strong that this tournament actually was, because sometimes, the Fargo doesn't matter in the short race, kind of like these right here.
No, Fargo is only going to matter in the long run. It just kind of tells you what your performance it's been in the past over a period of time. At any given tournament, you shouldn't put too much emphasis on Fargo. You just got to try and play well and then see what happens.
I agree. Let's see here. Is there anything else that we need to hit on this tournament? Do you think overall it was a success with the new format and with everything else, with a couple of the other changes? Do you think it was – did you enjoy this tournament? Was it a success?
Man, talking about me finishing second back-to-back, I will tell you, and I'm going to tie this in with the format. When I play Mike Davis, and he almost went to the last game on the second match when we're here at Brastubs. Yep. Brastubs is just 15 minutes on the road from my house. The difference on my energy level, the Monday from Mike, because we're on Monday night right now for anybody that watches this later. Yeah. The differences in my energy level from that tournament that was only like a month ago, I was dead for like a week. Yeah. Versus how I feel basically normal right now after, and it was just back-to-back finals. So yeah, big fan of the format. You're just not dead for the rest of the week, unless you're a freak like Mike Davis, and the next night he was playing another tournament. But yeah, that's very few and far between, man.
Yeah, still can't believe they did that. Yeah, I enjoyed getting out of there earlier as well, because normally like that brass tap tournament, dude, I think I slept for 2 days straight after that. This tournament, I still had energy yesterday to do some of the stuff that I needed to do, which was update the point standings. Let's hit on the point standings a little bit here.
Yes, let me pull them up.
Three events left now before the Tour Championship. Top 64 qualify. Mike Davis has first place locked up. BJ.
Congratulations, Mike.
Yes, BJ almost has second place locked up. BJ almost has second place locked up. But third place, man, third place, there's a lot of people here that can get third place. You got, right now, Josh Heater is in third. And then you got Ronald Bott, Hunter White, you, and I'm going to say Jazz McConney as well. All you guys still have a great shot at third place. And obviously the top three make a little bit of extra cash for all you people that are watching. I mean, does that play a role in you maybe playing an extra tournament here at the end of the year, or does it really matter?
Yeah, I think we touched up a little bit on this before the stream, and I'm just looking at the point count. I mean, there's only 70-point difference between me and Josh Heater. So you said that's just a cash, basically.
Yeah, that's fifth place. Yeah, fifth place.
Yeah, so that's a cash. So I think, if I do well this coming weekend, I think I'm gonna be forced to try and play at least one more before the Tour Championship. And if I catch up Josh, he's gonna be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and he's already signed up for a future tournament that's smoking.
Right.
So yeah.
And Ronald is there too. Although I don't know if Ronald just travels, outside of Smoking Q. I don't think I've seen him. Maybe he came to Brastad one time.
Not this year. No, that was last year.
No. Okay. So outside of Smoking Q, where else does Ronald play?
He
did come this year to Brastad. I played him for third place at Brastad. That was the match with the controversy.
Yeah, last year.
That was this year.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because last year I only played your special event. I never played my first
I'm pretty sure
event was this year.
Yeah, the ball with you and him was last year because right after that you played Corey.
Yeah, that was the first tournament.
No.
This year.
Nope.
A brass tabs.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
I mean, I could be 100% wrong on this. Like, don't quote me on it, but maybe it was last year.
Yeah.
I thought last year I only played either way. He's gone, so he's never gone outside of the Smoking Q this year. No. I think that was the okay.
Yeah, he played that. Well, he did play our bar box event at 6 and Stones.
Okay.
But
so he's playing strong. He's got 500 points only playing a Smoking Q.
Yep.
Basically.
He's a great player. Yeah, so the points, I think the points have been fun. I think they've been a lot of fun. Let's see. If you scroll way down, I'm 23rd. Shout out to Draymond Green, number 23. Yeah, so I'm 23rd. Congrats to me. I'll be in the top 64 probably. And as of right now, we do only have 64. There is no tie right now for 64. So it is actually exactly 64 players. And we've had a total of 210 players, by the way, Josh. A total of 200.
Congratulations. I know you wanted to at least have 200 players this year, and you broke that record. Great job. And I mean, it shows how well the tournaments are being run and how much people like that format. And we don't have a handicap. It's all plus signs. It's all thumbs up for me.
We are, I think we are the only tour that's open with no handicap that's around here. So I think we do get a lot of players that don't play in any of the handicap. Like a lot of these guys don't play. I don't see them in any of the handicap tournaments. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think once you start reaching the 600 plus level, if you have a well-run tournament like what you're doing, a tour, why not, give that a little bit of preference? And if you're trying to get better, they're going to be the only way.
Exactly, 100%. Maybe next year I can set my goal a little higher. Maybe next year I can try to get like 250 players or 300 players. I think we are going to have a couple surprises for next year, by the way. So y'all keep a lookout as this year winds down to our Facebook page. We do got another tournament coming up this weekend, Brass Tap and Billiards, non-ball event, points event number 18. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we got a 10-ball tournament coming up at Smoking Q in a few weeks. And then After that, we'll have our last event at Fast Action. That's will be the last points event of the year.
Is that 8-ball?
I mean, no, it'll be non-ball this time.
Okay.
We're going to close it out with non-ball. Yeah, I wanted to close it out with non-ball since the Tour Championship is right after that. That way people could get their non-ball practice in before the Tour Championship. I thought it made sense when I was making the schedule. So we did do a lot of 8-ball tournaments there, though. You are correct. But Fast Action, as great as I love the place, they are a little limited on tables, and 8-ball does go a little quicker for us.
Right. So, shout out to Clint. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping hopefully he shows up for the Tour Championship. He's going to be qualified, obviously. And hopefully his co-owner, David Dool, ends up qualifying. I think he's a little outside the top 64 right now, but maybe he can get up there. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, he's about 40 points out, so maybe he can, do something crazy at the last points event of the year. But yeah, Josh, this has been a fun show. Is there anything else that we didn't hit on that maybe I forgot about, slipped my mind?
I don't think so, but I kind of want to put you on the spot real quick since we're so close to the Tour Championship.
Yeah.
Give me a couple predictions. Give me 2 dark horses and give me a finals, a favorites finals, and 2 dark horses.
Well, actually, I'm probably going to win it and then just, stop. Like, that's it. Like, go into
That's
retirement.
it.
So, yeah. So there's that.
So you're only running a tour because you want to win one.
Yes. Yeah. I want to win the big one, though. So I've been keeping myself on the deal. No, 2 dark horses. So I'm going to say dark horses. I don't know who qualifies as a dark horse, really, but.
Well, just outside of the favorites,
Yeah.
So don't give me Mike or BJ or maybe Josh.
Yeah.
And Ronald.
I mean, looking at it, the first name for some reason that pops out to me, and I don't really know why. He is a good player, and he's cashed a few times in our events. I think he's cashed every time he's played this year. Michael Robertson. I think Michael Robertson could be a dark horse.
That's a good dark horse. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
He did just win a couple of APA events over the weekend. I don't know if you saw that. But congrats. Yeah. Shout out to Rico. Our buddy Rico. He went to that. He was in that tournament.
Oh,
lost in the semifinals to whoever Michael beat in the finals. So, but yeah, I think Michael would be a dark horse for me. And man, honestly, I mean, are you counting Eddie Little as a dark horse? Because I'm going to count Eddie Little. I think Eddie Little might have that energy to kind of come in and snap off the championship.
Go and practice for the next 2 months, Eddie.
Yeah. But I think realistically, if everybody on this list shows up, I think your finals should probably be Francisco Diaz and maybe Josh Roberts.
If everybody shows up.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a finals.
Yeah, that would be. But I do think obviously only the top 64 get invited. We don't fill the tournament up. So if some people don't show up, they don't show up. I do still think we get like 50 plus players, though. I think we're probably going to get like somewhere between 55 and 58 show up, which I think would still be a fantastic tournament.
Yeah, $2,500 added. It's going to be a great tournament. 2 days.
Yeah, it'll be 2 days. It'll be just like the format that we have now, except it'll be final 16 will become single elimination. But
right.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, man. Yeah. Last year for the Tour Championship, we only did 23 players. We only had 23 players, but we did the top 32. So 9 didn't show up. But there was a lot of other stuff going on. And I think, it was less money added and, not quite as big of a deal. Now I feel like maybe the Pool Series Championship is a big deal. But, yeah, I don't know. I think my 3 favorites to win would be, like I said, Francisco Diaz, Josh Roberts, and BJ, I think, are probably like the top 3. Mike being there as well, Mike Davis. And then my 2 dark horses, I'm going to go Michael Robertson and Eddie Little. I don't know. Do you have a dark horse, Josh, outside of yourself?
Yeah, I guess I got to root for myself a little bit, but I think I agree with you. I like those picks. And Jazz, I will, if he catches a gear and gets confident, he could go really far as a dark horse there. We'll see if Wama shows up. I mean, that's a favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's a favorite. That's not a dark horse at all.
I apologize. That would be, he won our very first tournament of the year. So for him to win the very first tournament of the year and then to maybe win the
last one,
that would be pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I would like that.
And it's gonna be kind of cool too for the tour championship and for the people watching at home. There's gonna be a lot of good matches on the string table. You're gonna have a hard time picking who you're gonna put in there because there's gonna be a lot of fireworks in there,
Yeah.
especially once we get down to the final 16.
Yeah, we might have to pull out a second camera and go live on Facebook as well to get 2 tables.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and maybe, who knows? Maybe if I can find somebody to commentate on the second table, we can have commentary on both tables. Who knows? But yeah, that's definitely something that's crossed our mind, and we've looked at possibly doing that. So, because like you said, there could be a lot of really good matches. But yeah, dude, I think that pretty much covers everything for our show. Is there anything else that we need to hit
I'll
on
see
here?
you next Monday, maybe.
Yeah,
And if I win this
dude,
coming weekend, 3 finals in a row, and I pull it, I'm gonna be like Corey. I'm gonna put that little trophy right here for the next podcast.
Yes. If you win, we'll just go ahead and do an interview with you right after the show too. Just go ahead and, yeah, because I know you're not going to sleep for a while. So
right.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a fun weekend for sure. I'll have Rico and Chris Clark back with us, so you won't just be hearing
great
commentary by myself. So yeah,
great. That would be nice to see them. And
for
where's
sure.
my man Pat? Pat, where you at for this coming weekend?
Yeah. He's running the Ultimate Pool. They got Ultimate Pool League in Charlotte going on. So yeah. But yeah, and by the way, for all you people watching, if you ever want to sign up for a tournament, message me on Facebook, message the Pool Series. We can get you signed up. We accept payment through Venmo, Cash App, all that jazz. But yeah, Josh, I appreciate you joining me. Congrats on second place once again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
And yeah, guys, TPS Reports. Hit like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that stuff. Go on Facebook, follow the Pool Series, and we'll check you later.